We need to talk about some of our favorite Bitcoin miners and have some perspective about what they could potentially do in this cycle. Not a fun conversation, but one I think we need to have as Bitcoin is getting heated up here. We are getting into uncharted territory. We are currently in price discovery mode for Bitcoin, meaning we are going into the bull run. This is going to happen fast. It's going to rip your face off if you're not ready, and we're going to be ready when this thing blows off the top. So anyways, to begin with, we are looking at the Bitcoin chart. We are currently over 69,000, meaning we are in that price discovery zone where we are making all-time highs every single time we tick just a little bit higher than we currently are. Currently on my chart, you see this green line, you see this red line. That is the Bitcoin Pi cycle top indicator. If you do not have this indicator on your Bitcoin chart, go and put it on your chart. Do it now. Unless you can't, in which case do it when you can. So why is this important? When this red line comes up and crosses above this green line, that means party's over. And it has meant that basically every time except last cycle. Last cycle was super weird, and we're all very aware of the manipulation and things that happened in the last cycle and how this should have gone a lot higher than it did, but it didn't. Anyways, we got that Pi cycle top here in April 2021, which was at about $65,000, just $5 shy of the ultimate all-time high that we had. Now, keep in mind that we have institutions involved this time, meaning that there's going to be an extra level of uncertainty in terms of, is this the top, is this not the top? But in every cycle previously, this Pi cycle top has been pretty dang close, except for the fact that we came back and rallied harder into the end of 2021. But even if you went out on this Pi cycle top from previous, in April, you still did decently well compared to if you sold down here or waited till 2022. Anyways, we can see it back here as well in 2017. 2017 is the more normal cycle that we generally see, a big one-time mega spike where, as soon as the Pi cycle top dots come in, party's over. So do we think that's going to happen this time? I don't know, but I am going to be watching this for one. The Quell multiplier on Look Into Bitcoin, I'll be watching that as well as the rainbow chart on Look Into Bitcoin. Those are going to be things that I'll be watching for. Is this the top for those things? So that's just one thing I wanted to bring to everyone's attention, which I have brought to your attention before, and I'm doing it again. The Pi cycle top indicator is something to have on the chart. It doesn't mean that we're going to find the exact top, but I tell you, if I sold at $65,000, I would not be sad if I missed out on that extra $4,000. I would be sad though if I let myself come all the way down to 29,000, got scared that that was the end of the party, sold out, and then watched it go back up to 69,000. I'd be pretty sad about that. But I digress. Let's move on to our actual topic here. So we are going to start with Marathon. This is going to be similar to what I just did with the video on Bitfarms, where I talked about their shares outstanding and their market cap and what potentially we can actually see out of these miners. Like what type of performance can we actually expect out of these things in the coming cycle. So with Marathon, they announced a dilution. We've talked about this. They announced their dilution. It was like the 27th of February, which ended up being the top of the market because as soon as they announced it, it started coming down. And they announced a 25% dilution, and they got for their trouble, they got a 37% drawdown. We just talked about how Bitfarms had announced a almost 50% potential dilution, and we've already seen 13% drop in the stock in after hours last Friday because of that. So there might be more in store for Bitfarms in that respect, but they may have also just announced it and let while price was low to get that drop, and then price will build up again, and then they'll start diluting. That could be what's going on. That could be their plan. I don't know. But that's what I would do if I were in their shoes. I'd be like, well, price is pretty low right now. Let's announce a dilution, let the price drop 10, 15%, demoralize everyone, let them forget about it, let price come back up again, and then we'll start diluting. Honestly, that's what I would do. Why wouldn't they? Why won't they? I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, Marathon. Current market cap of Marathon is $6.28 billion. Their previous all-time high market cap was $7.5 billion. You know what the price of Marathon was back when their market cap was just $1 billion higher than it is right now? It was actually up here at $83. Currently, we're just $1 billion off of that market cap, and we're not even halfway there. So keep that in mind. Currently, the shares outstanding for Marathon are, I believe it's 179 million. Yes, it's 179 million. They announced that they'll be diluting their market cap by about 25%, so we could see 25% more shares than 179 million. So let's get our calculator out. Let's calculate that. 179 times by 1.25. That is not how that works. Okay, 179 times by 1.25. 223 million. So almost 225 million. For keep math simple, I'm going to do 225 million. So if we're looking at a $7.5 billion market cap divided by 0.225, we're looking at a $33 marathon. That's at $33 marathon. If we want to get back to the previous price of $83, we're going to need to do a lot more than $7.5 billion. So let's see, let's double it. So that would be 15 divided by, sorry, 0.225, $66. $66 if we double our previous all-time high market cap. And you can see I have that marked here already. Guess what? I already recorded this once and I screwed it up, so I'm doing it again. $66 is where we currently could get if we get double the highest market cap previously from before. So let's say we get a little more than that. Let's say we get 1.5 times that, or like we do 2.5 times that. So 7.5 times by 2.5, $18 billion divided by 0.225, $83. So we need an $18.75 billion market cap just to get this previous all-time high. So we need to do 2.5 times our previous highest market cap. Do you think that's possible? Do you think it's possible that Marathon can reach an $18 billion valuation? Keep in mind that to get into the S&P 500, you need a minimum of $15 billion market cap. You also have to be profitable 4 quarters in a row, but you need a $15 billion market cap on top of that. Do you think Marathon could reach that market cap? Now, let me show you this. And I've shown you this before, my market cap. If we go into CoinMarketCap and we look at something that's right here, their market caps are over here, and these are often billions of dollars. Solana has $65 billion. Dogecoin has $25 billion. Shiba Inu, $20 billion. These two alone have significantly more money tied up in them than Marathon would need to reach that $83. We're talking about $45 billion wrapped up in coins about dogs that don't do anything. So that's the perspective we're looking at. Marathon is, it's adjacent to that world. It's not the same, but it is adjacent to it. Now, you take that in mind, yeah, okay. $18 billion doesn't seem that so high, especially with institutions getting involved this time. They weren't involved nearly as much back here. They're way more involved now. So maybe that's possible. I'm going to shoot for 66. Personally, this is not financial advice nor a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. But personally, I'm shooting for 66 on Marathon. 83 would be great. To get up to 100, I believe we needed to do 3x, 7.5 times by 3. And yeah, $22.5 billion. And we're going to divide it by 225, $100. So if you want to get $100 out of Marathon with its current share dilution count, like its current share count plus the dilution that they announced, to reach $100, you're going to need a $22.5 billion market cap, which is still less than Dogecoin, which hasn't even started running up. In fact, Dogecoin had a much higher market cap than this one time. Let's take a look at how high their market cap actually got before. If I can get that on the chart here, let me take a look. This is all price, market cap. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This thing at one point had a $74 billion market cap. Almost $75 billion market cap at one time for Dogecoin. So, I mean, things can get out of hand. Now, keep your head screwed on tight. I don't think that Marathon's going to $75 billion market cap. And I don't think you should bank on that either. Don't bet your house on that. Of course, this is not financial advice. You do whatever the hell you want. But if anyone asks me, should I bet the farm on Marathon reaching $75 billion market cap, I would say you're insane. Uh, I'm shooting for 66 bucks. All right, let's look at CleanSpark. Now, CleanSpark has almost the exact same amount of shares outstanding as Marathon. They have 178 million shares outstanding right now, which is the current amount Marathon also has. They have 179 million. Now, this is before Marathon does its dilution, which will take them up to 225 million about shares. CleanSpark hasn't announced any dilution. I don't know if CleanSpark will because they are currently profitable. They have increased their hash rate 60% with plans of doubling it in the next, doubling it from a few months ago in the next month. By the end of the year, they're going to do way more than just double that. So they're doing very well there, and they've done that without having to take out tons of debt. They've done that without having to sell their Bitcoin, and they have done that without having to dilute their stock. In the last year, in the last 6 months. Let's be real, the last 6 months, because they have diluted. They diluted before though. They diluted last summer. So if we look at the CleanSpark price, their previous price was here, January 10th-ish. Yeah, January 10th-ish, $42. January 10th, 2021, they were at about $42. If we look at their market cap, well, for one, their share count back then was 22 million. We have increased that by a factor of 8. So they have 8 times more shares than they had back in 2021, meaning we need to have 8 times the market cap that we had back then in order to get back to $42. Now, the thing that is promising here, CleanSpark is the only Bitcoin miner that I follow, the only one that I follow, there might be others, that has a significantly higher market cap right now than they had in the previous bull cycle. We have 4 times. 4 times. Right? They had just about $1 billion in market cap on January 10th when they had that peak of $42, and we are currently 4 times above that. Now, our price is less than half of that, which is why I'm saying if they had only done, quadrupled their shares and we had 4 times the amount, we'd be at the same price, 42. So they have doubled. I don't even know if that's a word. They have increased their share count by 8 times, which is why they have a market cap 4 times their previous market cap, but a price at half their previous high, all-time high price. Well, not all-time high, but all-time high during last cycle. So this cycle, in order to get back to $42, they're going to need to have an $8 billion market cap, which just so happens to be Marathon's previous all-time high market cap, which, I mean, okay, theirs was 7.6 or something, 7.56. It was almost 8 billion. Give me a break. Anyways, I think they can do it. I think CleanSpark could do $42. Think honestly, with how well they've been running, with how well they've been executing things, I don't think that would be a very difficult task for them at all. I think they're probably going to, I think they might be able to match and continue to match Marathon's market cap going into this bull run, which if we think Marathon can reach previous all-time highs, we've established they need to reach an $18 billion market cap to do that, right? Okay, so if we think Marathon can hit an $18 billion market cap, why wouldn't we assume that CleanSpark, which has been performing much better, which has been operating much more efficiently and attacking positive metrics to be a profitable Bitcoin miner aggressively and successfully, why do we think that they could not match Marathon on that, especially considering that they are on track to overtake Marathon in hash rate? So with that said, what do we think? So 178, they're at $101. If CleanSpark can match Marathon in market cap in the bull run, or what we think they could achieve in the bull run, CleanSpark's looking at $101, while Marathon is looking at just reaching its previous all-time of 83. Currently, CleanSpark is trading for $20.24, while Marathon is trading for $3.48. That's why I've shifted to CleanSpark from Marathon overall. I see a higher upside on them, and it's going to require less of a market cap in order to get there. Now, they could dilute tomorrow. That could happen, and that would completely rearrange all of my plans in terms of what I think they can do in terms of fees. Now, and of course, you need to always stay fluid. Stay on top of their SEC filings. Stay on top of what they're doing with their dilution, with their insider selling. You have to pay attention to those things, otherwise you're going to get wrecked. So, CleanSpark at this current moment has a better outlook than Marathon just based on pure numbers and news alone. Now, CleanSpark could throw a wrench in this tomorrow, just like Bitfarms did on Friday in terms of just announcing a big old dilution. So keep that in mind. This can be completely undone. And if it is, I'll come back and make another video about, okay, so this is what CleanSpark can do with its new shares outstanding compared to potential market cap that it could potentially reach. Now, BitDigital, they're the outlier here. BitDigital's a bit of an outlier here. BitDigital currently has a market cap 1/4 of its previous all-time high market cap of $1 billion. They reached that market cap without any real institutional investment in what they were doing. BlackRock currently owns 10.7% of their company. That was 8 per some odd cent previous last time I looked at it. In the last few months, it has been up to over 10%, which is actually very impressive. So they reached $1 billion in market cap without really any institutional assistance. Currently, to reach that previous all-time high market cap, they need to 4x from where they currently are. Their current price is $247. If they 4x'd that just to meet their previous all-time high market cap, they're looking at 10 bucks. 10 bucks, 10 bucks of upside. Just reaching their previous all-time market cap. Now, if they want to get back to the previous all-time high price, they're going to need to quadruple that, I believe, shares outstanding. But the thing that's interesting is they only have 88 million shares, and they haven't announced any dilution. Instead of dilution, they were selling Bitcoin, which I did not agree with, and I was not super happy about. Honestly, I would have preferred if they had diluted by, maybe 10, 15% instead of selling all their Bitcoin. But they did what they did, and currently their outlook doesn't look so bad, even with that bad news in the past. But their shares outstanding, when they had that previous all-time high, which was January 4th, 2021, that was back here. About 50 million shares, right? Well, let's say 42 million shares. They had half the shares they currently have. So they doubled their shares, which means we're going to need to get a significantly higher, right? So if, let's say they get that previous all-time high market cap. So they're going to need $2 billion to get up here, right? All right, 88 million, 2 billion. Let's see, 2.88, 2 divided by 0.088, $22 if they get to 2 billion. If we want to get back to that previous all-time high market cap, let's say, I believe it's 2.5 billion divided by 0.088, $28. So if they get to if they just do 1.5 times their previous all-time high market cap, which is $2.5 billion, which honestly isn't that much. Remember, Bitfarms got up to 1.5 billion with no institutional assistance last time. They still barely have any institutional assistance now. They got up to 1.5. I feel like BitDigital could probably do 2.5 with BlackRock and Vanguard and State Street all pumping them up. Okay, anyways, $28, 2.5 billion. So let's say they've got Ethereum on their balance sheet now. That's about to get an ETF. They're also staking it, which is growing their Ethereum pool. They've got their Bitcoin mining, which they are expanding, not as fast as I'd like them to expand, but they are expanding it. Their AI business made $1 million in revenue in their first month, and I've heard rumors. I haven't got any confirmed news, but I have read rumors, and I'm sorry I'm spreading rumors, but that's all I can do at this moment because I haven't confirmed it, that in February they quadrupled that to $4 million of revenue. That's going to be real big for them. All those things. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw like a $4 billion market cap on BitDigital in this bull run, which would take them, if they don't dilute, would take them up to about $45. So the previous all-time high of $33, totally achievable, especially with institutional investment in BitDigital. If they were able to do 4 times their previous all-time high, which they did without having Ethereum and an Ethereum ETF in existence, without a BTC ETF in existence, without institutional support, without the AI side of their business, which is already making money, without those things, they got a $1 billion market cap valuation. With those things, I can't say that I would be surprised if they got 2, 3, or even a $4 billion market cap in this cycle. Now, this is not financial advice. This is for informational and entertainment purposes only. This is by no means a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. This is simply the information along with some speculation on my part to kind of explain my thought process and why I invest in the things that I do personally. Please do your own research and come to your own conclusions about these assets as well as any others that you choose to invest in. And with that said, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a profitable day.